Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is your hostess with the mostest. And we are here in India. First time we've raced this track in AFR. Almost cancelled with a minimum of 6 drivers, but people seem to want to race, so here we are. But yeah, happy Sunday. Hope everybody's doing well. Oh no, my India track map is cut off. I think I should fix that. We'll put you on there. Go to the track map. Lovely. Right. What do we have for time set? Looks like Chris O'Connor. The man who's finally back in action. The man who got a P2 in Suzuki. He's here in India. Our biggest fan, Mr. Shepard, in the chat. Hello. Always a pleasure. Nick, people are leaving. Why are they leaving? Why? Oh, as Chris takes a bit of a pirouette off the side of the track. He's going to be heating that rubber quite significantly. Oh no, lad. Oh no. But yes, Mr. Gaultier is here. And Nick, where's those other people that were here that have since left? Oh, Nick, it's not. See. The Daytona rally course pretty fun. And what, the trucks? The Beetle? What are you doing today? Practice for this. That is cool. They know more about the corner than I do. Oh, that corner. Too much verbiage. Down into turn 3, I think it is. Maybe 4. It feet though. Always love it. Matthew navigates past Zen Metternich. Zen, the current pole sitter, as Sven is not here for a change, and this is actually a track that he recommended. And then this does not show. Alright, Zen currently pole on an outlap. Chris O'Connor toasting up his tires a bit in P2, and then a new driver. What was the lad's name? I get it right. Clinton. Clinton filling in as reserve for the Porky. And then Jaden Evolution. That rounds off the 5 drivers that have set times. As Zen gets overtaken by Dudu Nadzu by 2 100ths. Wow. 2 100ths separate pole in P2 as it stands. As he comes out on track, I believe somebody behind him is... Who is that? I don't believe so. He's not on... What is this name? doubt he's Korean, so those characters probably important. Matthew's still no time. Not sure if he's on a lap. Looks like he's pushing. He was on a lap. Could be through the swooping right here. Keep as much speed as you can, but you gotta stay on the track. And that is Matthew in a wall. Small violin for you, Matt. And yeah, carry on. But yeah, so Joe putting in a very good time. Only other driver into the 23s is Zen, I believe. As rain seems to be up. And that is going to be good for P3, where he was. Chris O'Connor now. 2 tenths up in the first sector. Can he pull out a heater for that? You should just end quali early. Well, why'd you have to say that? Look at what you did. Chris didn't like that, and now he spins. But Sean, you're not even here. Get in here then. Sven's not here. Minimal drivers. Everybody's scoring points today. Come on. Get in the seat, lad. Oh, what is this skin? What is it? What is a new one? Total Energies car. I haven't seen this before. Except I probably have because I've installed this. Look at that amazing camera work. Come on. Come on. You know how many people probably haven't practiced for this. As long as you know the layout, it's good enough. But I respect it. Right, so Dudunatu in the pits. Looks like he's extended his lead by another 10. Then on a hot lap as we speak. Let's get on board. Into the Mercedes wheel. Oh, that is a late break there for them. Purple, 4 tenths up in the second sector. If that's accurate, that's going to be a hater. Right, around the final corner. How's his exit going to be? Just wants to keep it together. I think he knows he's up. Across the line. To take pole by half a second is your man, Zen Metternich. Wow, what a lap. So yeah, I think whatever that middle sector was, the fast left, right, that was... He used all the track there. Now let's see if Dudunadze has an answer for that lap. Oh, would you look at that? He's got the Red Bull rim. So this is not the best exit there. Cost a bit of time. Ooh, and he just goes wide. That's probably going to be track limits. Indeed it is. And that is going to be an instant teleport, which will be prohibited next season. My mic is a bit quiet. I shall turn it up. Hello, hello. Test, test. How do a sound? Ooh, and he... himself. My mic is a bit quiet. I shall turn it up. Right, so Chris O'Connor gets up in the P3, overtakes How do a sound. Mr. Bradford. Ooh, and he... As that is not a very good camera angle. Alright, 5 minutes left. 8 drivers on track. Who is Chris's? He's doing something. Clinton, 4 seconds off. Not sure if he's had much time to practice. He did just get put into the car today. So practice might be limited for this guy. 28,199. There, hopefully y'all can hear it better. Alright, here goes Clinton on another hot lap. Needs to find many a seconds.
Yeah, I can see does. If he wants to have any chance at improving his position, currently 2.4 seconds off the next driver, which is Rain Bradford. And he's having 9/10 clear of Jaden, and well, a minute 36 clear of SM, and then Kuno's broken. Hippolyte. So I believe Sarah is what the actual name is of that driver.
Ah. Right, so Clinton seems to be 3 seconds off his pass time, which was already 4 seconds off in total. So this is not looking up. Let's go on board and see what he's experiencing in the cockpit.
Probably a wheel, some pedals, and a lot of G-force. It's like what they're experiencing in the cockpit, Adrian.
They were lifting on a straight. Kind of concerned.
Car does seem to be a bit unstable as they go into the pits.
Interesting. A new driver practicing pit entry. I am honored to be able to see this.
Look at that.
Right. So, Dudunazu struggling to find that time, doesn't know where it's to be found. But I think I know where it's found. Yeah, Diego, it's a massive grid today. Look at this. Oh, as the man himself decides to brace us with his presence.
Timo, you may qualify. You may qualify.
Let's see if Dudunazu can carry more speed. He just can't. He gets, I think, track limits there. Nick, have you seen where Zen's gaining time? It's kind of crazy.
I have not.
Watch, there's this.
Are we about to see it?
After this hairpin, there's a right left, and he made it. I mean, he's on an out lap, but he might show us.
It's a very long stroke. Could see some DLS action there.
Yeah. Ooh, why is a random guy in a box 5 car? Box 5 is for the people. See, watch right here. You go left. Oh, he's on an out lap. He flew through this. I don't know how he kept the car together, but it gave him half a second gap to P2. So, as you said, this is Sarah. Nick,
So Chester, the random guy in the box 5 car, they are reserving for Sean Fitzgerald.
Ah, I told Sean get in the car.
Hmm.
Box 5 is for the streets. Nick, we need a new, not you, Nick, the other Nick. We need a updated box 5 logo for the leaderboard thing. All right, 30 seconds left. Zen starting his final lap. Can he improve? Dudu Nadzo, I believe, also on a hot lap. It's going to be a last lap scrap. Trademark, hashtag my creation. Last lap scrap. I like that. Sven's in the chat. Don't like to see that. I like to see you on the track. I'm assuming these guys don't, but...
Agent's rhyming over here.
You know, some days when you're in India, you just feel the rhymes go into you, so... Alright, so look, let's see. Zen, he's only 5 1,000ths down. Flies through this double left-hander. That is definitely where he's gaining all the time, but I don't know, his first lap was a hater. It's gonna be tough to improve. Dudu Natsu is done, so the only thing that he can do now is extend this gap. Trying to carry
Unless
as much
Chris manages to find a 1.5 seconds in his next lap.
as Zen is
Zen
10th up.
improves. Yeah, he lost 12 time in Sector 1, does gain nearly 2 temps in Sector 2. So he could have potentially 7 temps up from Dudonatsu. All he needs to do is just round his final corner now, get a good exit, and he could potentially, well, not potentially, he probably will extend his pole position lead, and he does by 7 temps. That's 23-1.
Wow, nearly into the 22s, which nobody has done. Let's see what Chris has as he goes into the final corner. It looks like he's 6 seconds off pace. Indeed he is. That is not going to be the lap he wanted.
Not the lap he was looking for there. As Timo.
As Timo.
Yep.
Oh, Timo. Anyway. So Rain and Dudunazu seem to be pretty similar on pace. Only 10 separating them, but then 7 tenths Zen. Zen looking like to be the, oh.
That'll be the King of Fine as we get ready for the race here at Bud.
Yes, we will be back for more Bud. So grab your Bud, if it's legal, and we'll see you in a bit. Times. We are back, ready for a minimal turnout race, even though the guys are in the chat. Oh, okay, why, Nick? Why?
Some people being kicked by real penalty.
Ah. Is that guy starting across the line? Ooh, it's close. I think we need to take our seats, so let's grab ourselves a cheeky little sody pop, and then where's my seat? G27, row G up here, 27. All right, about there. All right, we've taken our seats for Bud. Now we get ready for the race.
We do, as the cars are doing the final checks, making sure the wheels plugged in, unlike McLaren.
Somebody is AFK though.
What do you mean the AFK?
There's a grid slot empty.
Hmm.
Also, these grid slots look a little close together. This could be interesting.
Could have to do a Kyle Army type restart where we do it on the safety car.
And there he is. All right. I don't have a countdown, so you're going to need to tell me how much time is left to start.
1 minute 23.
Ice Tiger, hello. According to Sven, the Indian GP equals best F1 race. Challenging layout, fast straights, tight corners, elevation changes, tested drivers. Passionate Indian fans equals unforgettable atmosphere. A race that'll always be remembered.
Not for Sven though, because he's not in it.
Again, Sven, well said.
We have one driver asking, can soft tires last 10 laps? Which Zen quickly responded to with no. So there we go, guys. Soft tires cannot indeed last 10 laps.
I think we need a higher vantage point. Let's jump to, how about row H?
And it's 30 seconds until the lights go out here at Bud.
Oh, this is a much better seat. Good thing turnout is a little poor today in the grandstands. I have any seat I want. I'm actually
And 5 seconds till light sequence here. Get your Indian ready.
Roger that. All right, as the lights come on, it is cha, punch. Okay.
They're not on. Yep. You're a bit delayed there.
A bit delayed. Just
early, sorry.
Cha, punch, char, tin, do, ek. Joe, we are racing here in India. Okay. Now let's see. Looks like they got a clean start. Nobody made contact off the start with smaller grid boxes, but there is a huge pileup, and that is a possible red flag or safety car.
And red flag.
Right. We get to sit here and find something else to talk about for 3 minutes.
I mean, we could go for some of the rule changes I proposed for the next season.
Right, yeah, actually, let's do that. So, as you can
Mainly...
see... What?
Go ahead.
As you can see, grid is looking a bit scarce because drivers are signing up and not showing up. So, for next season, we will be implementing per race signups. So, drivers will have 2 weeks to register for a race, or possibly just one, yet to be decided. And then the following week, there will be a required practice session. Drivers must do at least 10 laps, even if you have signed up, to be eligible to race in that weekend's race. So the logistics...
If you are interested in being one of those drivers for next race, or for next season, make sure to join our Discord down in the description. Which I believe is there. It's not. That's... quickly, just quickly adjust that.
I mean, you could look us up. We're not that hard to find. But yeah, that will hopefully get turnout, so it will show the people that want to race are registered for that week.
I cannot paste correctly, apparently. There we go. And also, as Adrian briefly mentioned during qualifying, there'll be no longer teleporting to pits allowed in qualifying, meaning drivers will have to do a full in-lap
Yes.
after their qualifying lap. And if they decide to do a short and not put enough fuel in, that will be them out for that qualifying session.
Yeah, so hopefully that'll shake things up a bit more.
And I believe the time for qualifying will also be reduced.
Maybe. I mean, if we're making them have to do outlaps, then it might not be a good idea.
I mean, 20 minutes is still quite a bit of time. That's longer than the F1 Q1 session.
That is true. That is true.
But just now, only 30 seconds until the light sequence starts for the second time here at Bud.
How many seconds?
It's 15 now until the light sequence begins.
I'm going to listen to this and make sure it's
6 5 4 3 2 1
And
जाओ
by doing that, everyone on stream will also know if you're saying it correctly.
6 5 4 3 2 1
Second time
जाओ
Adrian's done that without realizing that the stream can his audio, and here comes the light sequence. Adrian, I hope you're ready with your Indian.
It's Hindi, my friend.
Alright.
6 5 4 3 2 1 and Jao. We are racing second time here in Bud. Let's see if they can get turn 1 better. They got the start right this time. Now let's see, into turn 1 we go. Looks like everybody's fine and dandy. There's a little bit of contact with two Porkies in the back. Maybe. No, we're looking good. So let's get on board now with Mr. Metternich. Keeps his lead.
No,
Ren
that is-
Bradford.
Just make sure you go back to pits.
Yes. Well, there's a bit of contact. They're going on to the back straight. A little feisty.
Yeah, and Zen already pulling out a half-second lead to Dudonatsu.
Wow.
And probably going to extend that gap going through this hairpin and into the corners after that. And maybe Joe will then realize that's where he's faster than me. That's why he's gaining time.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go as Zen goes through that section now. Not taking it as fast as he did in qualifying. Dudonatsu actually keeping up quite well there. Only now 9 tenths separating them. So he does gain a bit of time through there actually. As I believe Timo has an offing in that section.
He does indeed. That is Timo back even further than he was in last.
And Sarah has a spin going through the fast hairpin.
Looks fine to me.
They did have a spin because I watched it with my own eyes.
Oh, that was a good spin if they didn't lose any position, so nice.
And Matthew Gautier only 3 tenths off the back of Augustin. And he's going to go for the switchback there, taking a wider line on the entry, cutting in on the inside for the exit. And now, as you can see, his speed is a lot higher. It's going to just fly past. I believe Carmine is their name, and that's Matthew Gautier up into P7.
Oh, is that Carmen?
I believe that's Carmine.
No, that is the new reserve.
Oh, and
Oh, that is a
safety
safety
car
car.
deployed. Safety car deployed.
That was a big collision there. Out into first hairpin. So I'm assuming they're going to want to pit for that damage repairing.
Yeah, currently the race order is Zen, followed by Joe, followed by Rain, then Chris, then Sarah, then Augustin, Jaden, Matthew, and then Timo down in 9th place. The pack has actually started to put itself up even prior to the safety car, so this could be a relatively short safety car period. Obviously, with this being a bit of a longer track as well, the safety car having the downfalls of the Formula 1 cars. Will probably be quite some slow safety car laps.
Yeah, let's see. Axel has not driven this track. Let's see what he can do.
And yeah, he's as the leader now goes through turn 1, going to turn 2, sees a safety car in the distance.
All right, Axel, no pressure, none at all. Give me a little swerve if you know. There.
And now he's got 6 Formula 1 cars ready behind him, ready to get this race along the way again. In it.
We'll have at least 2 laps, I think, of safety car, but shouldn't need more than that, as everybody seems to be leaving now. Matthew is the one now who's taken Timo's spot in last, so that safety car really playing out for Timo as he puts on the softs.
Oh, interesting strategy, because he will have to pit again, and I believe Jaden went for the C2, the hardest compound line for this race, so he could maybe be going till the end of the race, but I don't know if the tyres will last 27 laps around her.
What is that,
And,
Tiago? 9 drivers happen to the grid? You just don't show up, man. Also, Sven is communicating with me in Hindi.
Yeah, only 22 seconds now until the separated pack catches up to the pack, so we will probably be going in on lap 4 here. And Axel is now in sector 3, I believe. Yeah, as he's going for sector 3 now, just one more going to go until he crosses that line. And then just one more lap to go into that until the safety car goes in and the racing gets along the way once again.
Yes,
As I see Adrian is communicating with Sven in Hindi.
yeah, he sent me a message. I'll read it to the chat. From Sven Gaileyhead. It says, he said in Hindi, Ada does not know Hindi. He is very big kasout. That is in Hindi. I am mine in me. I am the world. So thank you for that, Sven. It is really appreciated.
And a safety car in this lap, safety car in this lap. Zen, at the start of sector 3, if you could start leaving the gap at the start of sector 3, please leave a gap. Currently catch up to the safety car, please.
So safety car do be going in.
It do be.
It do be do. So Joe Singers now has another chance to get a bit closer because he's already starting to. What is it with the Dutch? Just what is it? Sven leaves, Zen dominates India. It's a weird phenomenon, but if you know any other Dutch fast guys or basically anybody else that wants to
Max Verstappen?
I mean, that wants to join the league, so I guess.
Max Verstappen?
Right, so that is a big gap being left. Very big. Because it looks like Zen's already getting going. Interesting
Yeah,
decision.
and he caught, I think he caught Duranatsu a bit off guard there, and he maybe might think that he can get a very good exit out of turn 1, and it looks like he does, as he's nearly a second ahead of Duranatsu there, starting the safety car restart, and yeah, 8 attempts now. Wayne Bradford 9 attempts behind that. Carmine having a pretty bad safety car restart, 1.3 seconds behind Chris O'Connor ahead, who's now going to be looking up the rear of Rain, trying to get onto that podium position.
Yeah, Timo got a bit feisty there into turn 1. Thought I was about to see some contact, but all is well for now. But yeah, Zen with a second lead. But
yeah, and Chris in that position of Rain, he's going to try and go around the outside here, maybe potentially around the hairpin. But no, Rain blocks it beautifully, but Chris potentially trying to go for a switchback there. Rain having a bit of a bad exit. That's going to allow Chris to, well, overtake him.
Wow.
Into P3 he goes.
Yeah, that exit hurt him, and allows Chris to take the podium position. Can it be a second podium for Chris this week?
Yeah, but here we go. We have Sarah on the back of Clinton Augustin. That's their name. Two reserve drivers going battle to battle. Porsche versus Box 5. And Clinton going a bit wide there off the exit of the corner, touching the green asphalt. That's going to allow Sarah to go around the outside and down the inside, but Clinton sends it a bit hard, goes into the grass. That's going to allow Sarah well, play him like a fiddle and get past.
Yeah, Breeze is passing now. Is that Jaden Evolution in the back?
Your Australian accent's horrible.
Oi, listen here. I can do whatever accent I want.
I don't even know what accent you're trying to do anymore.
I don't know either, lad. If I
You
try to
sound
do Australian, it just turns to British. If I do British, it turns Australian. I don't know anymore.
And Jaden goes down the inside of the hairpin, bit of contact there with Clinton. That's going to allow maybe, possibly even Timo to get past Clinton, and it does.
Wow.
So a bit of a bad judgment there from Jaden. Switching Clinton allows Timo to get a position off it, and Timo potentially even going to go for a move on the Australian here. He's going to look to the outside, going to break lights out, and he gets the move done, but Jaden not giving up that easily. Goes down the inside. Oh!
Clinton just sends it into Timo. That was a bit odd.
And Matthew, with all that excitement, span his tyres and is now off.
Oh no. Oh, as Timo just sends it across the track, he does not want to drive on the track. Oh no, Timo, no, lad, no!
Oh, and there goes Timo.
Oh no.
And will Matthew be able to get past Timo before Timo re-enters? Yes. That I thought it would be a bit closer than that, but Timo decides to become Carlos Sainz and play in the kitty litter. And that's the DRS enable now, so well, there's no battles going on anymore, but Joe Singer's 1.2 from Zen. If he manages to just gain 3 tenths, which he just lost 2 of, so I'm not sure if that's going to happen. But yeah, if he gets within that 1 second out of the intersection point, he might have a go at Zen as Timo retires his car and calls that a day at Bud.
All in a day's work for Timo. But Joe seems to be, it's hovering around a little over a second, so I don't know if he's gaining, losing. But it's this middle sector right here that Zen just flies through. Let's check the onboard and see the delta change, if any.
Yeah, and Zen just looks so confident through that sector, doing that. So as you can see, if you saw Zen's wheel, he just had it at one, well, just basically just held it left, but doing that with going left, then snapping back to the center, then back left, and that's causing more degradation on the tires and also slowing down his lap time. So if he could just manage to find that perfect angle, as yeah, that happened.
Yeah, Matthew seems to be struggling here. He's going to be hoping for another safety car, or if this happens again, he might just send it out. Not sure what he's going to do, but closest battle right now seems to be Chris. Barely out of DRS range from the car.
When did Rain get past Chris?
Oh. That is a
Thinking that all that excitement we saw, Matthew Gautier spinning, Timo going off into the grass, I believe that's when Rain might have got past Chris, but Chris now only 1 second behind Rain. He will have DRS if he just, oh no, he's actually lost it now, but now he's getting it back, and I believe the DRS section point is around here at that line there. Yeah. So that could be Chris within DRS. If he was within a second at that point, I don't know, let's see. DRS activates around now, and no, he does not have it.
Yeah, he's going to need a push to get it for next lap, but seems to still be catching slightly, as does Dudunatu, who's still at this 1.3 range. So, anything could happen here.
And now they go through the very fast left-handers, 2 left-handers, and then into that right-hander just to break the flow a bit. And Rain touching above grass there, so does Chris. Making that right side a bit more dirty than it needs to be.
Chris falling back a bit now. And Joe gaining a bit now. Joe almost within DRS. Joe seems to be in DRS. What is happening here?
Joe is within DRS now, but I don't know if he will be when on the big straight. I think he might have it down this start-finish straight. Yes, he does. So that's Joe now. He's gonna gain 30 kilometers miles an hour. Yes. 30 kilometers an hour down that straight now, faster goes Joe, and now there's only 6 temps separating them, so we should have DRS going down the big straight, and that's going to be a massive advantage for Joe.
Yeah, this is where it could get done. I'm not sure how he gained all that time, but here we go into the main straight. Let's see.
He's going to open it now at those yellow DRS boards, and here's his DRS wide open, 30 kilometers an hour extra. And this is a quite long straight to have it on, so he's going to be going, and that's, he gained, what, 2-3 temps down that straight alone.
Yeah.
And but he will have the dirty air through these corners, so that's going to be massive. Lots of downforce there, as you need to rely on your downforce through, and you can't if you're following a car because the air is not as stable.
Yeah, you could just hear all the downshifts he was doing. He knows he's in dirty air, but he's doing well to keep within DRS and at least keep the gap down. We actually have a battle for the lead, like every other race this season.
Yeah, and Joe Singer's back within that 1 second gap now. 6 temps between them now, and he's in that slipstream. You know, you want to be in the slipstream on the straights, but don't want to be behind him through the corners. Now only 5 temps down, so he has gained a 10th this lap, and he's going to have DRS down this start-finish straight again. So that's going to be at least another 10th closer to Zen, and that might be all he needs to get past him on that long straight.
Or maybe here into turn 1.
Maybe into turn 1.
It looks like he's going for it. Who's going to get the detection for DRS here? Zen keeps the P1, but I'm not sure. Dudanatsu still goes for it, and I think
I don't know if he's
might
going to
have
have DRS. I think Zen might have got that DRS there.
Really?
It did look like it. I think Zen slowed down a bit more just to have it,
No,
but no,
Dudanatsu.
Joe does get it. And yeah, Joe now just going to go flying past Zen, and that's Joe in the lead of the race, and he's going to be pulling away a bit more now, but Zen looking down the inside, he's going to go for the move here like Joe did in turn 1. And he does go for the move, and he actually gets the move done, so that's going to be Joe back into P2 now.
Wow, this is a good scrap we got going on, and it's, from what I've been noticing, it looks like Zen's a bit faster in this sector too, but then Dudanatsu gains a lot in the final few corners. So
Yeah, and that could be, because the final few corners is quite a bit of straight between them, so that could be, you know, Joe just using the going into that pocket of air that Zen's punching through with his big wide Formula 1 car.
The final few corners are a lot of corners, not many straights, so I'm not sure what track.
I mean, there's quite a big straight here, and then there's also quite a big straight going into the final corner, which he can use the slipstream, but 1.3 seconds now, so he's out of DRS range just like that.
Yeah, what? He just lost a lot of time.
But speaking of losing time, Chris O'Connor is losing time to the car behind. Only 7 temps, so now Chris is in the DRS danger zone, and this could allow Sarah to get past Chris. He was fighting for P3, now could be defending to keep P4.
Wow. Are we getting a good race? Hey, bud?
I think we are.
This was unexpected, but hey, I'll take it. So Chris, yeah, just nearly out of DRS. He will not have it, but Sarah behind will. See if the setup differences will show here on the straight.
Yeah, now Chris is going to be... I don't know if he has DRS, because he's 9 temps now, but doesn't look like he's got it. Oh, he does have DRS.
Yeah, that's helpful. I thought he was well behind.
That's what I thought. Now only 5 temps behind Rain, but he's going to have that infamous dirty air going through turns 8, 9, I believe?
Sector 2.
Sector 2.
And then there's one sausage curve coming up that I think Dudunazu ran over, and that sent him back a little bit. Let's see where that one was. It was right after this. Oh, Sarah's drifts through the sweeping right-hander. Somehow kept it on track. Is this the sausage? No. This one right here.
That's the sausage curve, yeah.
That one was dangerous to go over it.
Yeah, and Rain, very dangerous position. He's in now with 2 cars behind him that both will have DRS down the straight and down the next straight. They can keep behind him. Rain obviously won't have that DRS, so he's going to just be a sitting dog with the 30 kilometers an hour extra speed these 2 cars will have over him.
Yeah, this is a nice little three-way battle as the P1 scrap has subsided for the moment.
I know Chris really wants to get back on that podium spot. I believe he finished on a podium in the last race, if I'm not mistaken. But Sarah going to go put it inside here, but no.
Chris almost got a bit close there too. But yeah, Chris did get P2 last time in Stuka.
Yeah, now Chris wants to get back on that podium, wants to make it back-to-back podiums after his vacation from F1, but here he goes on Rain. I say here he goes, he's catching up to Rain, not going to go for a move a bit too far back for that.
Yeah, through the two left-handers, Chris knows all well about dirty air, but they're still keeping within DRS. Gap seems to be closing a little bit. Chris a bit closer than the last time around.
I think Chris is taking a slightly different line to Rain there just to minimize the effect that dirty air will have.
Seems to be working. He got it down to 2/10 difference there.
Yeah, but Sarah now 2 tenths behind Chris. It's going on to be a very exciting battle. I mean, it has been a very exciting battle, but warming up to possibly even more exciting one as Chris gains more time through there. Sarah gaining more time on Chris, so they're both catching Rain, but Sarah seems to be the fastest out of these three.
Yes, indeed. What else we got? So Joe is falling back quite a bit. 2.5 seconds now from Zen. I wonder if he was just deploying all his battery, and that was how he was getting past. Not sure, but
Potentially could also be tires. I mean, you know, that dirty air isn't counting tires either. It's going to be wearing them more on the guy in P1, so that could just be the tire wear coming into wear. Perfect. As Sarah goes down the inside of Chris, going to the hairpin, gets the move done, and that's Sarah up into P4. Chris down in P5, but Chris now looks to have a much better run than Sarah's. Probably going to get past her going into the going into the corner, and there we go down the inside. He could even get Rain here, and he does.
double overtake, but can he brake carefully? Rain looking to get a better exit here. Straightens the car out. Oh, as Rain nearly loses it there, and that's 2 positions lost for Rain.
But Chris was down in P5 at the start of that Rain, now up into P3 at the end of it.
Wow, that is nuts. I don't know where maybe he's deploying all his battery there, but wow, good move for Chris.
Essentially, but that's Chris back on that podium position. Sarah into P4, Rain P5 for him now.
This is good. It's going for lots. Gotta be consistent. Spinning is not what you want here. Also, it's worth noting Sarah's on the hardest compound. Somehow keeping up with those. So
Yeah, I mean, that could potentially be just down to it being a bit warmer here in India than the usual tractor racer, and those hard compound tires might be what you need, but Joe Singers gets a 10-second for speeding in the pits.
oh, who did?
Joe Singers.
Oh no.
And I believe Chris was within 10 seconds before Joe pitted, so that could be Chris up in the P2 after penalties are applied, assuming he doesn't get a 10-second of his own.
Yeah, see, this
And
is another
Rain
reason.
also deciding to pit.
This is another reason for everybody watching why we're implementing no teleporting. So you have to practice pits during quali, so you don't get speeding.
But now Chris going into defensive mode, sticking to the inside line, not wanting Sarah to go down the inside of him into the next corner. Sarah, if they want, oh no, but Chris will just back to the left. That's going to allow Sarah to go down the inside. Just going to go flying past Chris, but can they break enough in time?
Looks like Sarah does. Sarah's flying right now on those hard compounds. Chris, though, gets a good exit out of there, but he's going to have to suffer through dirty air.
Yeah, I mean, we could be reaching
Oh.
the crossover point where the hard's actually faster on Chris. Ah,
Chris goes off.
that could allow Rain to get past, because he did just pit the lap earlier, and that little offing Chris might have there, that could be the difference between him keeping P4 and losing it. As I think Gauze sets his personal best with a 127.1.
Yeah, he's still carrying on, even though he's 30 seconds back, but, yeah.
And Zen now deciding to pit. As he pulls up into his box, squeezing those tires, he's going to go for the hards most likely, and yes, he does. Does he?
He does, yeah.
Yes. And Sarah, well, that's Sarah into the lead of the race, but obviously they still need to pit.
Yeah.
And Chris O'Connor also pitting now, and I wonder, will the undercut from Rain work? Rain now going into the penultimate corner. He does have Jaden in front of him, but Jaden will probably be pitting this lap if I'm not mistaken. Yes, no, Jaden stays out, so that's going to be Rain with DRS and possibly having a bit of a fight with Jaden. And Chris coming out of pits now, this could be close to the exit.
Yeah, let's see, there he goes. I think Rain's going to get it, though. He does.
Yes, he does, and that's Chris stuck behind Rain once again.
So the undercut seems to work.
I mean, Chris did have that offing.
Oh, yes.
Which doesn't help him. If he didn't have that, I think he would be ahead of both these cars, but they might, you know, they could have got past. I mean, I'm saying words.
It's good. Oh, I'm liking this commentary. I haven't seen this. And here goes Rain on Jaden.
Jaden just standing like a sitting duck waiting to be overtaken. And obviously Jaden does have those old hard compound tires on now, and Chris with behind him with fresh, but they are a bit cold, so they're not quite up to temperature just yet. Rain also on the hards, but they've obviously had 1 or 2 laps on them now, so they're pretty warm now, so they're going to have all the grip he can get from them pretty much. Chris has a bit more work to get that grip off them, and being stuck behind Jaden is not going to help him catching rain. As Adrian decides to not speak.
Yes, as I am going to give you and everyone else a Hindi lesson. Mujhe prasadahan jahai. Janahai, sorry. That means I need to use the restroom, so I'll be right back.
As Adrian goes to use the restroom, Chris is going to get past Jaden, going into P5. Now it's Chris back into P5. And charging down Rain with two. He does have 2 lap pressure tires, but 3 seconds behind. It's going to be a hard time to gain. Granted, there's still 40 laps left to go off this Indian Grand Prix. Sarah currently leading it, but they still need to pit. Joe Singer's having a bit of an offing there. Obviously, you guys can't see that because Adrian's not able to switch his camera and realize he's not here, but Joe just went off, so that could. I don't know how much time he's lost there, but that could potentially put Sarah into the lead, into P2. Not sure how far, not sure how much time you lose during the pits, but with that offing Joe just said, that puts him 8 seconds behind Zen. Rain 10 seconds behind Joe, so this overcut Sarah's with the hard tires, they're going to obviously probably go for the mediums, maybe even the softs. So Sarah's strategy of going hard to medium or soft could play big here, because they'll have fresher tires and also a softer compound tire. And they seem to be quite fast on those hards. As they go into turn 1 now, Zen going through turn 1 now, 3.6 seconds separating them. Obviously Zen knows he doesn't need to fight Sarah because Sarah still needs to pit, but he might just want to get past him with his fresher hard compound tires, but we'll just have to wait and see until Zen does inevitably catch them. Joe Singer's 8.5 seconds now with that offing he had, and Rain 10 seconds behind him. Chris 3.3 seconds behind Rain, trying to catch them. 3.5 seconds, so he's lost 5 tenths since last time we checked up on them. And it's not looking good for Chris if he wants any chance of reclaiming that P3. Jet Evolution, 3 seconds behind Chris. He's lost a bit of pace. He probably should be pitting soon, but he might be wanting to extend those hard compound tires to go for the softs, possibly try and go for fastest lap, get that 1 extra championship point in for himself and Team Iris. And Joe Singer has another offing, so that's Joe Singer's off again. And that's now 15 seconds behind Zen, so that's not looking good for Joe. That's going to allow Rain to catch up now. Gap between them is 3.7. So we could be seeing a fight for P2 during the end of this race. I mean, Joe not looking too confident on these hard compound tires as Zen gets past Sarah as Sarah pits. So I do wonder, with those 2 offings Joe Singer's had, will Sarah be able to get P2?
Joe with an offing? What?
2 offings
still
here.
Off. What happened to Joe?
He goes off again. Joe doesn't seem to be too confident with his hard compound tires. He's losing a lot of grip. Now, will Sarah get ahead of Rain? As Sarah leaves the pit lane now, they're nearing the end of the pit lane, but no, that's Rain as P2. Will Sarah get past Chris? And Chris gets past Sarah, so the overcut did not work for Sarah. Seems like the undercut is the way to go. Now, however, Sarah is now on fresh medium tires. Everyone ahead of them is on old hards, so Sarah does have every single advantage playing to their name right now.
Wow.
And Joe goes off again!
Well, Joe he's pitting again. I'm not sure what's happening, but...
That's Jaden, sorry.
Oh, I was confused.
Yeah. Joe pits again, going on mediums. Clearly those hards not working out for him, but that's Joe down into P7.
Oh, wow.
He was up in P2, now down in P7, only ahead of Matthew, who's, well, quite a bit of time away, but Joe, what happened, man?
Yeah, that was not good. I don't know what I just missed, but yeah, those hards were not working out like you said. But this is interesting. Wherever Sarah came from, she seems to know what's up, so this strategy is looking good.
Chris, I don't know where he gained 3 seconds from, but he's now on the back of Rain.
What a
and
race.
Sarah Sarah 1.5 behind with those fresher mediums. She can just make mangled me of these two.
Wow.
I mean, she's gained 1.7 seconds on Chris and gained nearly 4 seconds on Rain in one lap.
This is
This is racing.
But the two of these guys behind Zen by 20 some seconds. Did Zen not pit, or he did, didn't he?
Zen has pit.
Wow. So another Sven moment, looks like.
Well, you know, there's still 10 laps to go. I mean, if these three have a crash, that could potentially be a full course safety car on that advantage Zen's been building for the past 14 laps. Could all just go crumbling away, and
Oh wow, they added
Chris, is he going to try and go for a move for Rain here, going into the hairpin? Seems to be his first spot to overgate. He's going to go around the outside, Rain defending the inside. And Chris maybe trying to go for a switchback here, and it looks like he's going to try, but doesn't look to have to drive out of that corner. That's going to remain Rain and P3, but Chris, no, he's not going to try and get around the outside. That would be silly. As Sarah now only 1.3 behind, so she's going to be joining the fight in soon. And obviously with those fresher mediums, she's just catching through these swooping sections. Having wall grip, having fresher tires is what you need through there. And she does make a bit of a mistake, then that's going to lose her a bit of time. And Chris also looks like he's made a mistake, so Rain trying to pull away from Chris, trying to get outside that DRS range to not be attacked by Chris, but Chris wanting to obviously be inside of it, so they're both pushing as hard as they can to get within DRS, and also to get away from Sarah, who's on those fresher mediums. And now Sarah is within DRS range on this start-finish straight. Probably not going to go for a move here, but on that long straight, if she gets a good exit, she could get both of them, just like Chris did all those laps ago.
Yeah, Sarah nearly a second faster than Chris ahead last lap. So yeah, this is not looking good for these two ahead.
Yeah, and then Sarah might, you know, I mean, it's 10 laps to go. I mean, if she could gain 2.5 seconds on Zen every lap from now on, she could potentially go for a move for the lead. I think that might be a bit unrealistic with Zen's pace on those hard, Zen's pace on those hards.
All right,
and the Rain going to the offensive again into that corner. That's Sarah on the rear of Chris now. Probably not going to go for a move here, but looks like she might try it.
Oh, pressures Chris a lot to make him sweat a bit, but yeah, she doesn't go for the move.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like you can really go through 2 cars there without slowing yourself and your opponent down, allowing, you know, if they both slow down, allows Rain to get ahead, and that's not what either of them want. But it does look like Sarah's getting head up by Chris a bit. I mean, she was gaining on Chris, but now she's just stuck behind him.
Yeah, this is... Chris seems to have a bit low... Oh, Sarah nearly goes for a move there, but gets forced off, and that's Sarah spinning.
I don't really think she got forced on. I think she just ran for a gap that wasn't really there.
Yeah.
And yeah, she just slammed on the brakes, locked the tyres, and that's Sarah 5 seconds behind now. I mean, she probably will be able to get them. But that's probably flat spotted the tyres quite a bit. And Joe Stingers now goes for even Jaden.
Hey, he does. So Joe's working his way back up, but he's got a long way to go. 30 seconds to be to Sarah ahead. Wow.
20 seconds, actually.
Yes. That was, yep. Numbers.
Numbers are hard for Americans.
Well.
There you do it. Oh, and Jaden does get a 10-second.
For what?
Speeding.
Oh, he's pitting. Oh, I was okay. Oh, we have a little... Oh, what is this? What just happened there? Did Matthew just lose a position? Is Matthew fighting for position? He is, it looks like.
Oh, and that was Zen lapping them, so I think Zen lapping them might have caused Matthew to lose a position.
Interesting.
As Matthew goes around the outside of Clinton into turn 1, with Clinton going defensive, and I think Matthew slowed down a bit. Matthew will obviously have that DRS going down a long straight up. I think Clinton might be within a second of Zen ahead, which will give him DRS, but no, doesn't look like it.
It's a pretty big gap.
It looks a lot closer when they were going through the corner.
But yeah, let's see now, Matt. What can he pull out? Looks like he's got the
Jesus
job done.
Christ, he's got a rocket ship, mate.
And Oh, and he loses the car again. Same corner out of that hairpin after the main straight. Oh,
Yeah, now Chris and Rain going through that same straight that Matthew just got an overtake on Gang. Chris get into P2, make it 2 P2s in a row for him. I know Rain going defensive once again, but Chris looks to have a lot more overspeed this time. He's going to get Rain before the corner even starts, but Rain going to send it.
Chris looking
And
for a
that can
better
allow
exit
Chris to
though.
go for a switchback.
Oh, as
Ooh.
Rain loses the car into Chris. Bit too early on the throttle there from Rain.
That will be looked at by the stewards at the end of the race.
And this little scrap is allowing Sarah to catch back up in the span of 1 lap. 1 second has been gained, so there is still plenty of time for her to come back and get that podium spot. But I do think Chris is running a bit lower downforce setup than most because he seems to be tough to pass on the straights.
Yeah, I mean, Chris just looks to have a lot of speed down those straights. I mean, he's so much he flew past Rainbow Brain, being a bit more confident on the brakes, also being a bit slower, allowed to brake a bit late, and that allowed him to get alongside Chris, but just got a bit too eager on the throttle, and that allowed, allowed Chris to get past. It not allowed Chris to get past, allowed his car to slam into Chris's car, and now Rain deploying his battery just to stay ahead of Chris, but Chris might have a bit of a battery to use on the main straight now.
Alright, let's see. Seems to be pretty close. He needs a good exit. Looks like he got it. He got a good exit. Might not even need the DRS, but he will have it.
He actually closed it.
He closed his DRS?
It looks. Is it close? It looks.
Oh,
It's
it does
closed on
look
my end.
close. Huh. But that is Chris now up back in the P2.
And the Sarah now 1.6 behind those two.
Wow. Now can Chris pull away and break the DRS range? It's gonna be tough. Rain half a second behind. Sarah still closing the gap. And Zen 30 seconds ahead. This is bigger than Sven's differences that we've seen. Let's give him a little look. Just a little airtime. There he is. There he goes. Right. There's a few laps left now. Chris is ahead, but again, as Sarah now again within DRS range, just like that. Sarah knows she has the pace. She just needs to get past. I think she could easily get a P2 here if she somehow manages to get past. But Chris with that top line speed, it's going to be tough. Rain will have DRS here. Let's get on Chris's rear wing.
A bit on fire on Chris. He's got an extra 70 kilograms on his rear wing now.
Yeah, even with DRS, they're just not catching that much. Or Chris is deploying better, but Rain almost makes it look like he's going to go down the inside. He doesn't. As Rain again almost loses it out of that corner. That's going to be good for Chris.
Rain needs to control his throttle a bit more through that corner. He's been losing it through there quite a lot of times. I mean, if Chris wasn't there 2 laps ago, he could have potentially even span off.
They just keep messing up on that corner, but that is exactly what Sarah wants. Seems like Sarah's got the pace, just not the ability to see where to go for moves.
But Rain making a mistake there. That could allow her to go around the outside of the final corner now, and it looks like she's going to go for it. Should also have more traction out of the corner, and Rain spins off.
Oh, the pressure got to Rain, and again, too early on the throttle is just not helping, and oh, can she get P2? Can she catch Chris within 5 laps? She's got the pace and the softer tires, but then again, those tires could be hanging on by a thread. Who knows? Let's see here.
I mean, they are fresher than Chris. They're also softer, but I'm not sure how the tire wears around this track. So those mediums could be starting to fall off a bit.
Yeah.
But then again, they are like 5-6 laps fresher than Chris's hard, so they could start falling off around the same time.
Yeah, they could, my Polish friend.
Huh?
That they could, my Polish friend.
Yes. I agree. And here goes Sarah now going, you know, I mean, she doesn't look to be gaining as much, but I guess saying that, she's now on the rear end of Chris there.
Yeah, so Chris's advantage is only on the streets, so he needs to just get to the streets as soon as he can.
And we know now that Chris is probably running a lower downforce setup, so that could be why Sarah's gaining through those corners. So I can't actually tell if it's the setup or the tires are doing that. Probably a mix of both.
Yeah.
But here comes Chris now into his playhouse, going down that straight. Sarah with DRS wide open now. Is gaining on Chris, but not as much as Chris running on Rain. But Sarah could go for a move down into turn 1.
Already gets it done. Chris looking. No, you can't say anything about that. Wow.
I think Chris might have broke earlier, so let's Sarah pass and have DRS on this straight here, knowing he has that lower downforce setup.
Yes, yes. That is what the cheeky bastard is trying.
Oh, he does seem to get a relatively bad exit out there. He's nowhere near enough to go for a move, I don't think. God, that closing speed he's got though is absolutely insane.
Yeah. Once we get towards the end, that's where his speed comes in, but it's not going to be enough. I think he's going to start getting gapped here now by Sarah.
I mean, that bad exit he got out of turn 4, it's not. It could have potentially just lost him his P2 that he had. Look at Sarah pulling away now.
What? Oh, as Chris loses it. That's going to allow Rain to get podium. Oh no, Chris, what happened? Oh no. Heartbreak for the Irishman.
I think I just commented to curse Chris.
Oh no. Well, he's only 3 seconds back with it. Well, oh, okay. We're gonna hop off Chris. Oh no. Is that gonna allow Dudunadzu now to catch up?
Keep in mind, Dudunadzu does have that 10-second time penalty.
So Dudunadzu needs to get 10 seconds out of Chris here.
That's absolute heartbreak for Chris.
Wow. P5 to P2 to P4, and it might be P5 if Dudunadzu has some pace here. Which we know he does, as he was also once fighting for P2. So both these guys, the heartbreak duo fighting right now. As he gets the move done.
Heartbreak duo, I like that.
Oh man. Alright, now 3 laps to gain 10 seconds to be clear of penalties. That is if Chris does not have any penalties applied to him.
I mean, I don't think I haven't seen him do anything now. Cause stewards to investigate him, but never know. Could have missed it on stream.
There's his speed.
Chris.
Oh. Wow. Good exit there from Chris. For the way it looks like he's going to be able to keep 10 seconds unless Dudunadzu can get out of DRS quickly. Because that is.
No, I do wonder if Chris knows that Joe ahead of him has that 10 second, and I wonder if he's gonna just sit behind him, or if he doesn't know, is he gonna try and get past him and potentially cause them both an incident and get himself a penalty?
It could be interesting. Oh yeah, Chris is now out of DRS just like that, out of a few corners.
Yeah, I mean that you know, that hit with the wall probably didn't help him with his aero situation.
Probably.
So he's, you know, I mean, his top line speed's great, but his cornering speed has got even worse. Only 2 laps to go now. Oh no, 3 laps to go technically.
I don't understand how Zen is 37 seconds. Is it just because everybody has had some sort of incident and he hasn't?
Yeah, I mean, it does seem to be that way. I mean, Sarah had an offing, Rain had some offings. Joe, well, that was just unfortunate for him. That's when you were gone. And Chris had that massive crash, and then, yeah. All equates to 37 seconds, apparently. Also, just being a bit faster might be helping him.
Might. That's a bold assumption, but we might. Hello, Trix. Hello. Yeah, so Chris now 3 seconds down. I mean, there's only 2 laps left, including the one they're on. So I don't know if it's possible to gain 10 seconds, but you never know.
Yeah, I don't want to say it just in case it does happen, but we all know what I'm thinking could happen to Chris.
We're gonna hop off of him. So yeah, as it stands, Chris is going to get P4 because of Joe Singer's speeding in the pits penalty, which could be appealed, but it's tough to appeal if you're speeding.
One minute, I believe Sarah also has a 10-second, no?
Really?
I don't know if someone else got one. I don't remember who it quite was, but
Does live timings tell you?
no. We'll see when they cross the line on the final lap. 2 laps to go now for Joe Singers and Chris. Obviously, Zen crossed the line ages ago, but that's irrelevant. But yeah, Chris not looking to be gaining on Joe anymore. I mean, Joe just pulls away in that third sector. Chris might gain maybe a tenth or two on the straight, but that third sector, he just loses all his time with that broken rear wing and front wing. And also just running a lower downforce setup in general. I mean, his car just was through the wall on my end. So, very solid construction there from the Toyota.
Zen starts the final lap. If
Also,
Sarah...
that's his personal best and the 5th fastest time recorded on the server.
Wow. If Sarah's looking good to be 10 seconds ahead of Rain if she is the one with that 10 second. Only 7 tenths needed in this final lap, and she is gaining.
Just for the purpose of excitement, let's just say Sarah does have that 10-second time penalty. Can she pull away 5 tenths away from Rain now with 1 lap to go?
Yep, here she goes. Starting.
Here she comes. 3
tenths are needed. What can happen? Anything, that is the answer. And for everybody watching, that is not what I wanted. Yeah, for everybody wondering, we will not be doing driver interviews. I need to leave right after this. I don't know, Rain is keeping up. Maybe it was just on the straight. Is Matthews off again? Is that going to cause anything?
No.
Is this his final lap? I think it is. He just wants to get
Yeah,
this over
that's
with.
Zen
Crosses
crossing
the
the
line.
line. Dominant win, 41 seconds ahead of his competitors. Matthew's going to be the second person to cross the line. This might have been in P8. Sarah now going through the final south corners, going through that long right-hander. Going a bit off track there.
A bit of track limits on the end. And it's going to be close. It's only 3 tenths. So she needs 2 tenths now. What's it going to be across the line? I don't know. It's not looking like it's going to be a 10-second gap.
I was Jaden that the second time penalty. Now, man, that removes all the excitement.
Oh.
That's boring.
Well, it is a 10-second gap now. 10.1, 10.0, 10.1. And she does it. Sarah.
Doesn't have a time penalty.
Doesn't have a time penalty. Where did they come from? Here is a new driver.
Where did they go? P2.
And
for
Rain
Sarah.
somehow getting P3 even with his spins because of Chris's unfortunate kerfuffle with the wall. Joe Singers brings it back to get P4, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be invalidated by Chris being...
That is Chris into P4, 7.5 seconds behind. So there's your final orders. Then Sarah, Rain, Chris, Joe, Clinton, and then Jaden.
Very good race. I was not expecting to have
Clinton
such
just within that 10 seconds. Look at that gap.
Wow.
Just barely getting that P6.
Wow. I was not expecting to have such a good stream with this low of turnout, but we had some good fights the entire time. But yeah. What race do we have next? Because I need to leave. We have Coda. God bless America. I can finally do the countdown.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so we will see in 2 weeks for Coda. I'm going skiing, and shall see you in a later time. So thanks for watching.
You will not see anybody in a time.
Whoa,
I'm here for my interview.
whoa! This is violation.
Whoa.
Chris, I need to leave, so give us a quick rundown. What the hell happened?
Yeah, as you've seen everybody today, that track was a really tough one from Stakes. And unfortunately, I finally made one.
Hey, you were in P5, got up to P2, and then that.
Yep. then that happens. But hey, I mean, I had fun racing today. Those were some incredible battles. I hope you guys liked my Mika Hakkinen on Schumacher move. I'm gonna call it that. Overtake 2 cars at once. I will take that.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a good double overtake.
Speaking of the guy who was battling, hello Rain. That was incredible, man.
I'm fucking crying. Why am I crying?
I loved every second of that. Thank you very much. Oh, hey Zen.
It's fucking good.
Hello.
Yeah, that was good.
I tried giving you the
That was
spot
amazing.
back after I fucking oversteered India. I tried to give you the spot back. I wasn't doing any fucking deerish shit.
Language. All right, so Zen, 40-second gap ahead.
Well
What?
done, Zen, man.
I don't know what happened today. It was very good.
I think season 8 is just the season for Dutch drivers. Cause,
Probably, yeah.
dude, good race, man. Absolutely.
Yeah,
good.
it was amazing. I had a good Hold pace. on a minute. Good I setup. think Sven has won the championship.
I thought he couldn't win.
I think he has after this race because now Sven has won the championship.
Wow.
Sven has won the championship despite not even racing in this race.
And he's saying he's not going to race in the next one, so. Well, anyway, we're not going to distract from Zen. That was a good race, man. I think you had no issues, and everybody seemed to have some sort of problem, so consistency is key.
It was nice. Yeah, it was good consistency, no mistakes. So that's
Yep, that's all.
most of the time gives you the win.
Yeah.
Oh, Adrian,
Yes.
Clinton was on a controller.
Oh my gosh.
Not a bad Nice. finish then for him.
Oh gosh. All right, everybody. I am ending the stream. I need to boogie out of here. So thanks for watching. See you in 2 weeks at Coda. Bye bye.
See you, bye.